The honeybee's sting is a remarkable yet fatal evolutionary trade-off, a biological mechanism known as autotomy, the voluntary severance of a body part. To understand why a bee dies after stinging, we must examine the intricate anatomy of the stinger and the specific physiological consequences of its deployment. Unlike the smooth, needle-like stingers of wasps and hornets, the honeybee's ovipositor has evolved into a specialized weapon featuring backward-facing barbs similar to a harpoon. When a honeybee stings a mammal with relatively thick, elastic skin, these barbs lock into the dermal layers. As the bee attempts to fly away, the resistance of the skin is greater than the strength of the bee's internal connective tissues. The resulting physical trauma is catastrophic. The stinger remains anchored in the victim, and as the bee pulls away, it effectively disembowels itself. This process tears away the stinger apparatus along with the venom sac, the attached musculature, and vital segments of the bee's lower digestive tract and nervous system. This abdominal rupture leads to rapid fluid loss and organ failure, causing the bee's death shortly thereafter. However, from an evolutionary perspective, this suicide mission is highly efficient for the survival of the colony. The detached stinger apparatus is not a dormant object. It is a self-contained automated unit. Even after the bee has departed, the attached muscles continue to contract rhythmically, driven by its own clusters of nerve cells. These contractions serve two primary functions. First, they continue to drive the stinger deeper into the wound. Second, they pump the remaining venom from the sac into the target. The venom itself contains melittin, a peptide that breaks down cell membranes and triggers pain receptors, as well as phospholipase A2, which destroys tissues and induces inflammation. Simultaneously, the dying bee releases alarm pheromones, primarily isopentyl acetate, which smells faintly of bananas. These volatile chemical signals alert other bees in the vicinity to the presence of a threat, marking the target for further defensive action. It is important to note that this fatal outcome is specific to stings against mammals and birds. When a honeybee defends the hive against invading insects, its barbs often fail to catch in the rigid chitin of an insect's exoskeleton, allowing the bee to retract its stinger and survive. The death of the worker bee is therefore a specialized defensive adaptation, prioritizing the collective safety of the queen and the hive over the life of the individual sterile worker.